What if I told you in the year 2024, we've been given one of, if not the best horror games that we've gotten probably within the last 5 to 10 years. What if I told you that this is a game that you could go play right now if you have Game Pass, or if you have Steam, you can go catch it at a great sale, or if you have a PlayStation, it might be a little bit out of your price range. What if I told you those two things, as well as that this game takes maybe 6 to 8 hours to finish? By the title of the video, you already know what game I'm talking about today. I would be describing to you Still Wakes the Deep. Still Wakes the Deep was developed and released by the Chinese Room. If you don't know the Chinese Room, I believe they're based out of the United Kingdom, and they've worked on amazing games like Dear Esther. Esther, is that how you say it? I think. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which is a phenomenal game, I think, as well as Still Wakes the Deep and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which I know nothing about. This game released on June 18th of 2024. Right now it's on sale for Steam. I wish this video was sponsored. It's not, so I'm still gonna tell you to go check it out. I think on Steam it actually sits at about $35 normally. I want to say that's true, and it looks like it sits at about $35 on consoles as well. Now, I'm telling you right now, I would pay $60 for this game and I would not be upset about it. I'm very happy it's at $35. I don't know why. I don't think they've changed it, but from in my brain I could have sworn it was like 60, but hey, 35 I think is a perfect price for this game. Now, I know what you're thinking, Nate, wicked, dumbass. What are you even talking about? What game is this? Well, Still Wakes the Deep is a photorealistic first-person horror game from the Chinese Room that takes place on an oil rig on Christmas Day. I want to say it's 1976. I'm being completely real when I say this is easily my favorite horror game since Alien Isolation, because this game takes Alien Isolation, kind of gets rid of the alien part of being like the main antagonist, but puts you on an oil rig with characters that are arguably some of the best written characters we've gotten in a long time. You play as Kaz McCleary, who is a flawed and deep individual who I didn't expect, to be honest. You're able to hide in things, you're able to distract enemies. Honestly, this game is not that hard, and it's also not that scary. To me, what this game excels at is atmosphere. Atmosphere is easily one of the most important aspects of anything to do with horror. Any sort of movie, entertainment, video game, if the atmosphere or the environment of said thing is not done correctly, you could pretty much lose whatever feeling you're going for. Atmosphere is what creates the feeling of dread when watching movies like A Quiet Place, for those who are afraid of that franchise. I guess I don't know. Did I say A Quiet Place? I think I did. I don't know why I thought of that. Now, even if you don't like those movies, they create a certain type of atmosphere because of the general silence and sound design. Now, with Still Wakes the Deep, it's obviously a lot different, and by a lot different, I mean it's a hell of a lot better, because this game's atmosphere is on top of its game. This game's atmosphere is as good as the original Outlast. It's as good as Alien Isolation. I would say that this game even rivals Until Dawn in terms of atmosphere. I don't think it's as good as Until Dawn, but this game is easily my favorite horror game ever. And that's not because of just the atmosphere, that's because of a lot of the things that they introduce in the game. Somehow, whether it's the Scottish voice acting, or it's the atmosphere, or the level design, the music, it fits together for an experience so well. It has one of the best written and acted stories in a video game I've played in a long time. This game seriously outdoes itself at every turn, and again, it's really short, and that's what holds me back from really recommending this game, to be honest. But it definitely is a must play for people who enjoy horror. I don't think that this game is scary at all, to be honest, because I love horror so much. So to me, what kind of creeped me out was the general level design, the way like they got so many correct details of the oil rig rig, the noises, the sound design, everything like that. This game won't scare you because of what it's doing. It'll creep you out because of the environment. And I think it's fascinating to me how good it is. But then again, you have all of these insanely great characters. Like, I don't understand why they had to make these side characters so unique. I remember almost every single one of them. I played this game in one sitting and I have not touched it since. I literally grinded this game for its entire length. I think the crew is insanely talented. They really sold it, and Kaz in particular is such a great protagonist character. He's flawed, he's not perfect, he's not this insanely strong dude. He really feels like just an ordinary individual caught in a really, really terrible situation, which I think is it's a great thing for horror to do. Now, I think it kind of depends on your aspect. It kind of depends on how you see life, is how you're gonna see this story. Because to me, I thought this story was insanely good, especially for it being like a cosmic horror and kind of comedic at times horror game. That can be a really hard setup to mess up. And I think that the writing was great. Just because I do, that doesn't mean it is by any means. I don't think this is game of the year or anything. Now, people said that there's a lot of bugs on the PC port of this game, so I probably recommend waiting for it. To me, I played this through Game Pass, so I was shocked at just how great it is, especially since this is like a original story and world. This doesn't have any ever long lasting ties to anything. I didn't even know this studio really existed besides the Rapture game. Now, this review has been really all over the place, and I really apologize for that. I'm just shocked by this game. Now, I know I've been like kind of just glazing this game this entire time, but for people who like negatives, this game does have quite a few. It can get pretty repetitive at times if that's something that your brain will latch onto. I don't really think I can recommend this game because you are doing a lot of the same things over and over again. It sits in like that $35 price range, so a lot of people will equate a $30 game to needing 30 hours of gameplay. I don't, but a lot of people do. This game is not that. This game is really short. Like I said, you could beat this game in a matter of a day, if that. A lot of people said this game feels like a walking simulator, which I can definitely see why people would say that. I really like this subgenre of horror games, so to me it felt more like an experience, like you're just experiencing a movie. If you're looking for really enhanced deep gameplay like Alien Isolation, this game might not be for you. I recommend watching either the Rad Brad's playthrough or someone's playthrough of the game. A lot of people said it reminds them of Scorn, which I definitely see, because again, you're really not doing all that much for the 6 to 8 hours of gameplay that you're going to get here. I think that the game is worth it if you're on Game Pass and you have some time and you're really wanting like a really beautiful experience. But this game is not for everybody. It really is not for everybody. So I definitely can see this video getting a lot of hate because a lot of people have very strong opinions online, and I understand that, okay? Just because I said that this is my favorite horror game in a long time doesn't mean that horror games that have come out over the last few years, months, etc. are bad. I mean, we got the Dead Space remake, which is insane. Alan Wake 2, I consider a horror game. So some of my favorite games of all time are horror, but everybody enjoys things differently. And for me, this game is amazing. I absolutely loved it. So if you have Game Pass and you have some time and you're okay with just kind of turning off your brain and letting a story take hold of you, I highly recommend this. If you're not like a Fortnite kid and need overstimulation 24/7 while playing a game, which again, that's not a slight at anyone who needs that, because that is what society is filled with now, so I understand. If you're not someone who needs high doses of stimulation to get through a game, please go give this one a try. I really think you'll enjoy it. You can catch it on sale on Steam. It'll probably go on sale on consoles soon. I do not know how well this game is selling. I really hope it is selling good, but this game is depressing. It's gonna make you sad. It's gonna make you happy, maybe. Just kidding. It's probably, if this game makes you happy, I'm concerned for you, because it is Fucking tragic. But yeah, if you've played Still Wasted Deep, let me know in the comment sections down below how you felt about it. Again, this is just my opinion. You don't share the same opinion. That is perfectly okay. You don't need to come at me. We don't need to get political. There's no need for that, okay? This game is a nice little slice of horror yumminess. What the fuck am I even saying? But seriously, go play this game if you have the chance, if it's something you seem into. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I also recommend watching gameplay and reviews like this one. Try to be super fair in my reviews because, again, just because I really enjoy this game, I can definitely see how its flaws really will hold it back for some people, because some people do not like this type of game, and that's totally okay. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in the next one.